It's our second shed hunt of this spring. We've shed hunted this area twice before. We picked up a lot of nice whitetail sheds down in here, and we picked up one really nice elk shed, and we're hopefully heading back to that same area to see if we can find the other side, because we just weren't able to get back in here and look for it. And so the elk have not dropped yet, so we're just going to be scouting out the herds, seeing if we can find some good bulls, and hopefully picking up some of the real nice bucks we picked up last year. As we're walking through here, what we like to find is these big old benched off areas like this one I'm on. There's just something about these mountain bucks. They love dropping their sheds right here on these big old benches. We just keep combing all this country, especially these benches. You just really want to look on them. I mean, we're in pretty good looking stuff here, but the real good stuff is when we drop down. So we're slowly working our way down the hill, and we're gonna find ourselves some big boys today if all goes well. So let's go find them. Boy, fog's starting to burn off. Oh yeah, starting to look real nice. It's gonna be a beautiful day for shed hunting. Yeah, last spring down in there, picked up both sides of a 6x6 whitetail. We'll be heading down into there in just a few minutes. See if we can pick up that same buck. Or something else like him. I don't know, there's a lot of big deer in this country. Well, we made it down that. And now we're down here in what was Browntown for last year. I picked up both sides of a 6x6 whitetail buck in here. One side was just right there on them rocks, and the other side was about 40 yards down there in the brush. So our hope is that if he survived hunting season, he might be dropping in the same area. But we will see. Let's go find him. Most people don't find on their shed hunts. Down here in all this winter country, there was a whole ton of homesteads. And as you can see here, moonshine ran free through all this country. Them was the good old days. This is the only piece of this still we've been able to find, but most of these homesteads we find down in here, they got some kind of remains of one of these on them. But that's pretty cool. Let's go find some antlers. It's been about a half an hour and things finally worked out. I'm jumping up and down. I found the first elk shed of 2024 for me. It's an old hard white. Man, it's cool looking. It's not chewed on at all. And so, I mean, I was just working all these bedding areas and I kept seeing elk sign. And I'm like, boy, there's got to be an elk antler in here. And like I said, they haven't dropped yet. So I was just looking and looking for something white. And I was at the bottom of this big old rock slide. You can see behind me, I think. But I just looked over and it caught my eye, and I mean, I am just so pumped right now. And this bull, he's nice. He's not super huge, but I'm going to try to match this guy up. So I'll let you take a look at him, and then I'll get some pictures and the pickup. But yeah, just look at this beast. Well, not exactly a beast, but I'm happy. A nice hard white, big old 5. Man, that's a beautiful bull. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to match this one up. So I'll get the pickup video for you guys after I get some pictures. All right, check this guy out. Check out that eye guard there. I mean, big old massive, real powerful eye guard. Nice whale. I'm super pumped. This is a great Great bull to be getting. Great first elk shed of the year. He's been there long enough to turn that button green. But man, this is actually the first one I found in this canyon that had both of his eye guards where they're supposed to be. There's a weird gene down here to make the first one really powerful, with which this guy's got, but it just leaves the second eye guard out completely. But yeah, I'm really pumped. I'm gonna see if I can find the other side of this guy. He looks like a cool bull. He's worth looking for. Yeah, this is gonna be stinking awesome. These elk seem to like to drop their sheds on these big old rock slides. So I figured we'd come out here and check this. But I'm not seeing much here right now. So I'm thinking I'll head back into the timber. Just keep circling and looping around. Who knows? Since he's not a real giant, he could have packed that other shed for 300 yards. And I mean, some of this is wicked tight. But I'm gonna do my best to match this bull up. We'll see what we get out of it. Yeah, these elk sheds, these things, they just come with a slap in the face sometimes. So this guy was laying about there, just like this last spring when Keo and I were down in here. I walked along that rock slide right there. Never seen him. We walked 20 yards down in that. We never looked up here and seen him. And we was just looking. You can see right where this thing was laying, all over through that bottom there. But yeah, it's a little bit nuts. We looked out down that way for him. Been down in there for about 30 minutes or so. It opens up pretty good there. But I'm halfway fearing he dropped it up in all that thick stuff, or back this direction. We're gonna go back this way, see if we can find some whitetail sheds on this guy's other side. So let's go find some real big boys. Check this out. About 60 yards from where I picked up that elk shed, looks like there's an old lion kill here. Couple whitetail legs laying around, all this brush stacked on top of all this fur, like he had it buried in here. It's kind of cool. Don't know where the rest of the critter is. We'd be looking for his head to see if he had any horns, but doesn't look like it in this case. These mountain lions here in Idaho, they always take down bucks. Rarely ever do they kill a doe. It's almost always a buck. I like to joke and say they're trophy hunters, but that's just me. Let's go find them antlers now. Yeah, it's become steep, brushy, and nasty, and it did it in a hurry. So I don't know what our odds are on finding this guy's other side, but I don't think they're exactly in our favor. But we'll see what we can get. We'll keep trying. I still really would like to find some nice brown deer sheds, but if all we find is relic elk sheds like this one, I got no issues with picking up hard white. Well, here's a sad thing to find in the woods. Looks like, yep, winter kill. Poor cow elk. Her ivories are gone. That'd be about the only thing worth salvaging. Let me see here. No, she doesn't look, yeah, she was about medium age. That's too bad. Wonder what got her, mountain lion or a wolf? Some big old wolf tracks on the road this morning when we were driving in. Yep, that's a shame. Every time we hit a snow patch, whoa, it's looking pretty good. We've got a lot of tracks in here. Lots of deer. Not so much on the elk side of things, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, there's been so many deer wintering down in here. And sooner or later, we're gonna find where they dropped most of them. It's always seemed to roll for us down here in this canyon. Once we find one or two of them, then we really start picking them up. All the bucks just seem to like dropping in the same areas. But those areas seem to be varying from year to year. So we just got to figure out where they put them this year. That's what makes it shed hunting and not shed getting. But wish us luck. Woo! Check it out. Big old deadhead, big old deadhead. Holy catfish. Man alive. Holy cow. And I was just videoing. Holy catfish. I've never in my life seen a buck like that. Like always, it's sad to find deadheads, but man, see, this is the genetics we got in them big ones. Check this out, man. Woo! You're gonna kill me?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dang! That is a nice buck. I'll get a video of me holding it. But yeah, that's a nice deer. This is an awesome day. I wonder what killed him. Yeah, check out this guy. Big old, I think he's a non-typical. I mean, this is, I've never even seen a deer like this. I mean, just look at the mass on these bases. I mean, I can barely wrap my fingers around that. Just look at that. And I mean, like Keo pointed out, he's like, it doesn't even feel real. That's like, no, it don't. I mean, this is insane. So we finally found some deer antlers. It's just, sadly, he went down with them. But this is an awesome buck. This is the kind of genetics I've always wanted to find. And I finally found one. And he's dead. But the fact that I found him is just flat out awesome. Let's go find some more. Gave up on finding the other side of that elk. Instead, we came way up here to the top, and we're gonna plunge way down the canyon rim down to the bottom. I found a big old elk shed in there in the spring, and there was just too much brush and leaves on everything for us to find the other side. So we're gonna go into there and see if we can find him. I mean, it was an easy like 340 bull, big, huge, super heavy bull. So I'm gonna stash my treasures, and then we're gonna head down the canyon. And since we've said we're looking for elk antlers now, we're probably gonna find deer antlers, but we'll see. We're still hoping we can run across the elk herd and maybe get a look at what they've got for bulls in them, but we'll see. Man, it sure feels good to be rid of them two, or be rid of that elk shed and that deadhead. Them things, they'd wear a guy out. But we're heading on down into the good country, looking for elk herds and old elk sheds, and of course, as always, them big old brown whitetail sheds. So let's get down this hill, hopefully without falling and dying, as all the brush has been trying to do to me. And let's go find the big boys. Surprise, surprise, we got kind of distracted. Went to exploring new areas looking for sheds. We found a big old meadow we didn't know existed. But I think we'll get back on track and we'll see what we can find for elk sheds or even old deer sheds. But I mean, there's a lot of tracks still cutting through here.
Wolf tracks right here.
Oh yeah. There's that stinker. I wonder if it's the same one from this morning. No, this one's smaller.
Still a wolf.
For grand, we got two stinking wolves in our shed hunting country. Not cool. Not cool. There's something kind of cool and something fairly common for around here where we are. It's an old salt lick. There's a setup right over there where Keo is. Somebody packed a couple boards down into here, nailed it up. They had a shooting rail. They hit that lick right there where that stump is. And from the looks, it looks like they had a tarp going over it. It might have been like a blind right here. Still, that seems awfully close. I mean, that's 15 yards, and it looks like it's set up for a rifle. I think my dad actually found this one in deer season. I mean, we've walked right past it before and never seen it. But that makes for a kind of cool find. And let's go find some antlers. Well, this is about going to bring tears to my eyes. I found another deadhead. It looks a lot fresher than the last one and a lot smaller. I don't know what killed it, but like I said, there was wolf tracks in here, along with lion tracks. Oh yeah, that's too bad. Good genetic little deer. Gone. But he's got antlers. So, and they look like they're in nice condition. I'll just saw him off when I get back to the house, so I'd say he's worth packing out. It's just too bad. Man, that deadhead looks pathetic compared to the last one I had on there. Once I get him back up there to the other one, I'll have to show you the comparison. But I mean, this thing, it looks dumb compared to that last one. That last one was really something special, though. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to beat that in sheds I find or in a buck I kill. But let's get back to shed hunting and see if we can turn up another big old elk shed. We've made it to the bottom of the canyon, or really where the canyon ends, and I think I'm about 300 yards from where I picked up a monster elk shed last year, but leaves grew over everything too fast and I wasn't able to get back down here and find the other side while it was still open. But so I figured I'd be looking for it here for a bit. I'll comb my way over to where Keo is. He's kind of close to where I picked up the other side, or the first side. There are stinking grouse. Those things will scare you to death. But yeah, just looking for that old relic and then probably pull it back out of here. But wish us luck. It's a big bull. I had lunch and now we're looking for the other side of that elk I found last spring. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if I showed you. So right here, there's these little down trees. I picked up my biggest elk shed ever just right here. It's always super cool. You never know where these things have laid and other people have found them. I mean, you'd never really know. But so we're gonna comb this ridge area and everything, and we'll see what we find. If we don't turn up with something in about 30 minutes, we've got to start hiking our way back out of this canyon to get home on time. So wish us luck on that big shed. Well, we gave it a few minutes looking for that other elk shed. Didn't come up with anything. So I guess we're just packing our way back up to the top. And then there's a little patch of timber. I found a big old 5-point buck shed in there last year. We're going to see if we can find anything in that area. I'm really beginning to think that all the deer, they dropped way higher up than where we are. We've had a super mild winter here this year. Like, there should be a foot or two of snow right here where I'm sitting. And this is usually where the antlers are, and we haven't found hide nor hair of them. All that we found was dead, as you've seen. We made it back to our stash of goodies. Got them picked up, and we're whooped. We've been to the bottom of this canyon. We've been to the top. We've been all over the sides. I mean, we're calling it a day, and we're gonna head back an hour early. But we're heading back happy, or anyways I am. I mean, that big old whitetail buck on there, I'm gonna find out what he scores. I'm gonna clean him up and hang him on my wall. I mean, he is the most amazing thing I've probably ever found. Keo's been threatening me with death, but I can take it over bucks like this. So we made it back to the four-wheeler, and I figured I'd let y'all have one more good look at what we got. We got this here. I'm gonna guess he's, it probably laid there about 2-3 years. Nice big 5-point elk shed. Barely chewed on at all, a little bit up here on the sword, but for the most part, really nice bull for condition wise. I'd definitely like to know where his other side was, but we couldn't find it as of yet. But yeah, we'll probably be back looking for this guy. And then, my absolute favorite, this big old 6x7 whitetail. Stinks to high heaven, but I mean just an incredible, incredible deer. I have no idea what he scores as of yet, but all I know is it is the biggest deer I've ever laid hands on. And probably the closest thing to a non-typical I've ever seen. I don't know if he is a non-typical or not yet. I'm not very good with that. But he is just flat out amazing, and the mass on this guy's insane. I'm going to take him home, boil him up, whiten him, and I mean, I'm hanging this guy on the wall in my room. He's just so much awesome character and everything. And then we got this trophy. Pathetic compared to what I was just showing you. He either got taken down by a mountain lion during the winter or a wolf. I have no idea what killed the other buck neither. But yeah, it wasn't a terrible day shed hunting. I mean, we only picked up one shed. Should have called it deadhead hunting. But it was not by any means a bad day to be out in the woods. It was beautiful weather. We found some stuff, and I was not expecting this buck, not at all. So I am definitely very pleased and very happy So we're packing it up, loading it up onto the quad. We're heading home. Catch us on the next video.